Located in the mist-covered mountains of Laos, there exists an uninhabited village that has been left untouched by the passage of time. Formerly a thriving Hmong community, it now serves as a haunting reminder of a bygone era. Within the decaying structures and overgrown pathways, the spirit of a young girl roams aimlessly, devoid of company. Known as Mai, she was a Hmong girl abandoned by her family when they fled the village under the cover of night, seeking safety from a devastating war that plagued the region. Left to fend for herself, Mai anticipated their return, only to be met with disappointment as days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, her hope diminishing with each passing moment. One ominous night, a violent storm descended upon the village, unleashing its fury upon the dilapidated buildings and twisted vegetation. Amidst the chaos, lightning illuminated the spectral figure of Mai as she wandered the desolate streets, her cries drowned out by the howling wind. As the tempest persisted, Mai succumbed to the harsh elements of the night, collapsing onto the muddy terrain, her essence torn between the realms of the living and the deceased. In that fleeting instant, Mai drew her final breath, her essence forever ensnared within the forsaken village. Presently, under the moonlit sky, the ghostly apparition of Mai traverses the abandoned village, her ethereal voice resonating through the ruins as she beckons for guidance. However, a word of caution is warranted. For those who heed her haunting pleas risk becoming ensnared within her eternal purgatory, condemned to wander the crumbling streets for eternity. Should you ever find yourself amidst the mist-laden mountains of Laos and hear a spectral voice in the night, it is advised to heed this warning and retreat. Mai's lingering presence lurks within the shadows, awaiting unsuspecting souls to entrap in her perpetual anguish. Once ensnared within her domain, escape is futile, offering no solace, only the perpetual darkness of the forsaken village, where time stands still and the lost wander endlessly. In a small village nestled in the heart of a dense forest, a young man named Kian set out on a hunting trip one crisp autumn morning. Armed with his bow and arrows, Kian ventured deep into the woods in search of game to bring back to his family. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the forest floor, Kian decided to make camp near the edge of the village. The crackling of the fire and the chirping of crickets filled the air as he settled down for the night. Just as Kian was about to drift off to sleep, a haunting voice pierced the silence of the night. "Mom! Dad! Where are you?" The voice called out, filled with desperation and longing. Startled, Kian sat up, his heart pounding in his chest. "I am here. Please wait for me," the voice continued, echoing through the trees. Intrigued and slightly unnerved, Kian grabbed his torch and ventured out into the darkness, following the mysterious voice.
"Who's out there?"
Kian called out into the night, his voice tinged with a mix of fear and curiosity. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows, a young girl named Mai, her eyes wide with fear.
"I'm lost. I want to go home," Mai whispered,
her voice trembling. Without hesitation, Kian offered to help her find her way back to the village. Ignoring the warning signs that flashed in his mind, he plunged deeper into the woods, determined to reunite Mai with her family. As he journeyed further into the forest, the trees seemed to close in around them, the path twisting and turning in ways Kian had never seen before. Despite his best efforts, Kian soon realized that they were hopelessly lost. Days turned into nights, and still, there was no sign of the village or any familiar landmarks. Kian's family grew increasingly worried, organizing search parties and combing the forest for any trace of him. But Kian and Mai had vanished without a trace, swallowed up by the wilderness. Now, Kian and Mai wandered the abandoned village, trapped in a never-ending cycle of searching for a way out. Their voices still echo through the trees, calling out for help, but no one ever comes. Lost to the forest forever, Kian and Mai are doomed to roam the woods, their fates intertwined for eternity.